Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to another episode of Foundry Reviews, the Fallout show on Amazon, an original. Today we're going to be taking a look at episode 4, The Ghouls. My name is Nice, I'm John Boy. Joining me today is Slykiko and GraveDiggerGriffin. Kylo, Sly, boys. Another banger episode. So far the show has been nothing but positivity, really, for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems like it's like casually going up and getting more exciting.
I've yet to see them drop the ball thus far.
I've yet to have any interest in Maximus as a person or something interesting or anything like that. I still hate him quite a bit there. He's still annoying as ever. No, but yeah, this definitely was another episode kind of showcasing Lucy. And it's really weird and kind of fucked up how obsessed the ghoul is excited that like to see her descent into... Because what he say is like, oh, you're going to be like me sooner or later. Kind of.
Yeah, he's like 200 years down the line or 20 years down the line or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, give it a minute, it'll kick in. Trust me.
Yeah, whether it be the radiation or that she's gonna have to like drop some morals, and there's gonna be a big old gray area soon enough. One thing that really excited me in this episode was kind of them taking a look at a conspiracy behind the vault, and that's what really piqued my interest.
Oh, what her brother was up to?
Yes, what Norm was up to,
I
which
love that.
they really, when they first introduced Norm, it's like, all right, little geeky, nerdy kid who doesn't really have a spot, you know, in the society. And then it's like, wait a minute, maybe he's meant for better and greater things. And now I'm kind of turning around, and I'm kind of getting a little interested in him. And we also saw the introduction of Codsworth, which is pretty fucking sweet. And his voice
Great
is...
casting for Codsworth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's the original voice from Fallout 4, right?
I was gonna say, I was like, it sounds like it's the same dude from Fallout 4. That intro, I remember hearing him.
Yeah, I'm
with the guy,
fairly
the
sure.
most devious bastard in New York City. That guy.
Yeah. Funny enough, he's in a band too called Flight of the Conchords.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's really
I'll have
funny.
to check that out.
Because of Fallout 4, Concordia. That's awesome.
He's funny as hell.
So last we left off with the ghoul just pretty much dragging Lucy around.
Basically was like radiation would like kind of like heal ghouls and stuff like that. It was weird, but like the more radiation like you took on, the more like you would slowly decay and then become like feral. There wasn't like really anything to my knowledge that. It was just like a slow decay until you die.
That's what I thought too. I didn't think that it was like an actually like, oh, you know, if you don't do the chems, or if you do the chem, but I guess they had to choose a way to show like how he was better, how he was the elite, you know, like in the wasteland, and how he was not to be fucked with. So I thought that was different, but I wasn't completely sure because I don't remember seeing that, but I also don't remember them confirming any other way that like how someone stays an actual ghoul and how people say a feral ghouls, because
I've been thinking this whole time it was because of mutations, like side effects.
I don't think so. I mean, like there you just come across a wasteland, there's actual like wasteland, there's like actually feral ghoul, like not feral ghoul, they're actual ghoul like strongholds and communities that look out for each other, because there are a lot of like humans and like other settlements who are like, oh, any type of ghoul is a bad ghoul, like because we don't associate with their kind or anything like that. I think there's a quest in Fallout 3 where you overhelp a ghoul and he leads a bunch of feral ghouls to overtake a human settlement and stuff because of their prejudice and whatnot.
So remember, don't be prejudiced.
Yeah, you know, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, I like the whole... What was the ghoul's name?
At the beginning, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, when they walked up on, he's just like sitting there just repeating himself constantly in order so he can remember and hold on to the last bit of information that he can remember, which is like so sad to see them like literally losing their humanity and turning into a husk and go hollow and stuff. I'm like, that is a heartbreaking, like actual being able to see it with human eyes representation of like this what once was a human with years of experience and emotions just being flushed down the drain, and it's gonna be all gone. Also really fucked up, and a good thing too was how our cowboy ghoul started to reminisce with them and put good thoughts in their head, and it's like literally blew their fucking brains out once they started to reminisce about good things in their life from before, which is a really cool thing to do for them to like put him out of his misery. But it's just like, god damn, dude, like no fucking mercy at
it
all.
was, and then right off the bat being like, we gotta make some ass jerky out of this. I was like, hold
Which
on.
really threw me off. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, cause that can't literally mean ass jerky. It's just,
he meant it. They're
literally
making
ass jerky. Like, we are going to eat his ass, dude. It's like, can we not eat his ass? It's like, no, we have to eat the ass.
He is ruthless. He's just like, yeah, no sooner than he's dead, we gotta harvest this boy. I was like, what?
Yeah. And then the ghouls making Lucy drink like fucking radiation water, and he's all like belly laughing about it. He's just eating it up, like making her fucking eat gross shit and drink gross shit, and he's like, oh yeah. He's so
well, it's funny, like
scrappy too.
Partially through the episode as they're like wheeling her through, you can see him on like a TV laying down outside. He collapsed. Like he's dying.
Oh yeah. And that's when she started to book it, right?
That was right before she got like almost operated on. Yeah. Like it cuts to like those two idiots on the couch, and he's like, nice robot, and literally next to him is a TV with Walter Goggins just laying on the ground outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Right before they brought her to the supermarket, she tried running off, and he got her. Yep. He used his lasso to display his cowboy skills. Remember? And then he fucking cut her finger off, dude. Because
she bit his finger off.
Yeah, and that was quote the closest exchange they've ever had.
I guess.
Yeah, quote unquote. I don't really know what that exactly meant, but like, okay. I thought that was pretty fucking gruesome, which is weird because they bring him to the super duper mark, yeah, and then he collapses outside because he's just so, I guess, he needs his drugs. He's going through withdrawals. He needs his chems. Yeah. Kylie, you usually go hard on the chems when you do a fall.
Not really, except in Fallout 4. Yeah, I hit Jet really heavily.
Yeah, if I ever need like, oh, I need a little bit more weight, I'll drink some alcohol or something like that. But I really do not like fucking with the status effects. I think I remember one time in Fallout 3, I accidentally got addicted to stim packs, which I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you can do that either. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that is bad luck, bro.
Yeah, well, I think I spammed it. I think it was in an area I was not supposed to be in. I just absolutely spammed it because I was gonna die. What did you think of the human harvesting area, you guys?
The human harvesting area? You're talking about the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a interesting apocalyptic business. It seemed like a successful one, but it was fucked. Really cool introduction. It was weird though, because like you had those two lazy ass dudes. I was like, how does this work? It just seemed so weird, but I loved the idea. And then Codsworth was classic, where he's like, let me get you a new finger. By the way, I'm going to harvest your organs, but I want to make sure, you're in tip-top shape first.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I was curious myself what they were actually harvesting there. I know the dude kind of hinted at harvesting her organs, but I don't really see, like, feral ghoul organs being all that valuable, so that makes me wonder if there's, like, some sort of chemical they're pulling from feral ghouls, which is the chemical that they need to, like, maybe keep other ghouls alive. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I mean,
I'm only basing that off of like all the ghouls there, like maybe the lack of like actual functioning organs and that big ass case full of those orange vials that the ghoul needs.
I assuming like like you're talking like the vials that like that they're probably using to stay alive longer, like Cowboy Ghoul is.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that would be like Jet or something like that. I bet you could actually look it up and find it on a wiki or something to see what like chemical. But I'm not going to do that because I want to avoid spoilers until we finish the show. Sure. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. She had a fucking awesome like fight scene at the very end there, which was super impressed. She just like tore the whole place down, kind of by accident, but like her heart was in the right place.
I think that's her issue. She's not realizing, and that might have been what Cowboy Ghoul meant in the beginning, where it was like our closest exchange. I think he's trying to get her to come out of her shell and be more of like a wastelander. He wants her to toughen her hide, and I think that was the closest she got to it when she was like getting a little scrappy and drawing blood on him, because she's been really peaceful and trying to like resolve everything with words and shit. It's like, dude, nobody out here wants to do that. Like
yeah. That's actually a really good point. I thought maybe like the closest exchange was like him getting a lick back on her, but you might be right when saying like it was her actually just showing a little bit of ruthlessness to survive, which is the only way to survive in the wasteland. Maybe he's like, I mean, like if anyone's going to do it right, it's going to be him.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, been
he's
there
got
since
nothing
the
to lose
beginning.
too, though. He's
Do we know-
already a ghoul, so as long as he has his like supplies, he's chilling.
Do we know how long he was like trapped, like, or I guess like in the dirt?
You know what? It would have been the first episode they talk about it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because apparently he is the longest lasting ghoul.
Yeah, I mean that's what
Which
Roger
makes me-
said. He's like, "Oh, you've
Yeah.
outlived us all." Type
It
of
makes
shit
me
like
wonder.
that.
I'm like, but at the same time, I'm assuming Roger must have been roaming the whole time. Our cowboy ghoul was under the dirt, like getting chems pumped into him.
Yeah, so that's a good point too. Something like they
Which
had
makes me feel like he feels like government operative. Like someone's kind of like a pet
Well-
project. They come back to him when they need him.
that older guy who was like who was like in the lead of the bandits that pulled him out. Didn't he say like, "Oh, my daddy used to work with him"?
You know what? You're right.
I believe so. So yeah, he couldn't have been in there for that long then. Maybe like 50, 60, 70 years. I'm assuming their life expectancy for an old man in the wasteland could not be very high.
I don't think it's probably like that long either, because the dude references one guy coming over and cutting off pieces off of him and like putting him back in the ground.
Yeah.
So it's probably just like 30 years, something like that. Not that long.
Yeah. So still though, yeah, still longest lasting out there in the field. Yeah, and then she pretty much gives our ghoulie friend a bunch of extra chems and recites golden rule, motherfucker.
Yeah.
She wanted to say like, look, I did what you couldn't do, and I still did it my way, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it's like it's that ally like you want it to happen. It's like that Godzilla King Kong thing, like when they're gonna fight, and you're like, they're gonna end up teaming up at the end, but like they just gotta get a little scuffle out of the way, maybe bite a finger off each other first, then get to the team up episode there. Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. It was a great episode. You get to see more of the world and the atmosphere Fallout, which is fucking awesome. I love seeing like the West Coast, like kind of Los Angeles, like burned down cities. You get to see a little bit of that New Vegas, but you mostly get to see like kind of Vegas and smaller towns and Vegas itself. But like seeing Los Angeles like burnt down, not at huge scale. They didn't show you too much, but just walking down like a city block or two with Lucy and the Ghoul, but pretty dope.
I was happy with how it all came together with his film from the last episode, especially when he's like reminiscing at the end. That had to have been my favorite part of this episode, when he sits down in the market and he sees the old, I don't know, is it a VHS tape technically?
Yes,
it was just a holotape, I thought.
Holotape, sorry, I forgot. Holotapes. Yeah, he sits down and he watches that. And I even love, I think they were going for that symbolism, because remember in the last episode when they're trying to get him to rehearse it, he's like, do I really have to kill him? And the guy's like, yeah, dude, we just want to show like even a good man like you has to, cross that line sometimes, you know?
The parallels are insane.
Absolutely, because he's looking at it with fond nostalgia when he's sitting there watching it, and we see it finally play out. And I also love that they have the patriotism with the whole, hope you like the taste of lead, you commie son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's perfect because it's encapsulating like the era and like what was happening pre-war, I guess, or during war, and then afterwards, just seeing how he's literally that's what happened to him. He crossed that line. And I don't think he knows how to go back on the other side of it.
Yeah, and it seems like he might like want to leech on to Lucy a little bit too, because he's like, maybe I'm redeemable. Maybe she thinks that too. Maybe he thinks that. Maybe we all, the audience, think that like he might still be able to be redeemed as not a total baddie, which is pretty cool. I like the parallel there. Good character development. Oh yeah, talk about fucking Norman and the him going to Vault 32, you guys.
That is a mind trip, that whole thing. His little random excursion to Vault 32 is crazy. I mean, you're right. He totally came out of his shell in this episode, because in the very beginning, he just, he was the skittish kid. He didn't really do anything. He didn't get his hands dirty. He didn't contribute anything. And he's openly admitted, in the other episodes, like, where do you put someone who hates every job he's been put into? And here he is going out of his way on his own to go dig into something that is pretty sus. He's revealing that whole conspiracy of what happened in Vault 32.
Yeah.
Kylo, you got any thoughts on that?
I have to agree with the wall. Fuck management. like spray painted all or well, blood painted all over the walls and stuff like
spray
that. I
painted.
enjoyed personally the carnage and everything, like going through there. You see like the foosball table sticks like going through people's torsos, and this dude like shoving a fork into an outlet or a
toaster oven, right?
socket. Yeah.
I don't know if that was suicide or what. What they say, it looked like they were killing each other off or something like that. But it was
it was thorough.
It was a fucking brutal image of him walking through there. Then he gets to the overseer office and does logs into it, and said, who's he with? That fucking cousin fucker.
Yeah, he brought the dude that's cousins of them, and he's been wanting to get with Lucy, and
yeah,
and he messes with the eye patch lady. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
I liked how he was able to access the overseer's computer and actually like kind of read up on like all the vault stuff, or like most of the vault stuff, like the transitions from people from like 32 to 31 or vice versa.
Yeah, it was really crazy because I'm like, wow, they did like a lot of just kind of like people transfers like that, and he
notices the 31 conspiracy, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, it's very weird, but there's also the case with he saw that the vault was open from the outside with a Pip-Boy, and it happened to be his mother's Pip-Boy, and that was the big moment, like, oh shit, dude.
That's a big reveal.
Yeah, but that was the biggest reveal. Like, that's what kind of kept me interested in going. I think that's what piqued my interest the most there. But I think we'll probably call it there for that episode, you guys. I think I'm gonna rate it a 7.5. I liked it a lot.
Solid stuff. I'm gonna have to go a little higher on this one. I gotta give it an 8.5. I feel like this one, you know how most shows end up having like a filler episode in the middle? This was not that. This kept expanding on it and added more plot lines that I was like, I didn't think you already needed this much. Like, you already had a good thing going with just these 3 characters, and you threw a 4th in there where I was like, damn, this is good. Gourmet stuff. So 8.5 from me.
I'll probably have to give it a 7. I found the show or this episode to be like really funny, except for the small bit with like the action and the ghouls and whatnot. But it was okay. Not one of my favorite ones, but it was okay.
Is there anything that you thought that you just didn't like for no specific reason even?
Personally, I thought it would have been cool if they actually like maybe showed a bit more like the decrepit shit in like 32, but
yeah,
I like seeing that dark stuff. Yeah, I do. I do. It's Fallout, baby. Show me it.
Kind of missed opportunity. It's all right because you go to any other vault in any other game, and it's always just a shithole.
Yeah.
Mood.
All right, well, if you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, drop some support for the slugs down below. Let us know what you guys thought about this episode down below in the comments, and we'll see you guys later on the next Fallout review. But until next time, bye, guys.
Bye.